Race 4 at Fuji, week 2 of season 3, and this race is an absolute disaster of a race. So this is going to be a much shorter video as I want to focus on the mistakes I make. It's a disaster race, and I got nobody to blame but myself. I set a 142. 142.3, which was good enough to put me in 12th place starting, which is in the inside line. I get a decent start, but 16 gets a much faster start here. But I'm on the inside, so I begin braking, trying to avoid the initial collisions and accidents that occur right there. And feeling pretty good about how this started off. I'm in 10th place at the moment, going into turn 3. And take that a little slower than I'd like, but still in the thick of it. And we'll go through the whole first lap here. Behind me, Lewis is coming up quick, but into this turn here, doing okay. See another driver spin out, putting me into 9th place. So I'm in the top 10, feeling pretty good about how things are going. Wanted to just keep my pace going. I'm on cold tires, want to just get through the first lap cleanly. Braking hard here. You can see these two drivers in front of me beginning to collide with each other and fighting pretty hard. So I'm hoping that they're going to have an accident and get out of my way. But yeah, still have Raniero behind me. I think he was in the last race I was in. Obviously very quick, trying to get past all of us. I'm going to go back and watch his line so I can see how he did so fast. But there he slides out, as well as the driver in front of me, causing me to swerve though. But that causes me to actually lose a position as I start a fight with Ben Wall here on my right, dropping me into 10th place. Ben slides in front of me. I decide I'm going to try to go to the inside here, see if I can get a move done. I brake a little bit before Ben to try to make the turn. I pull this off just fine. We're still racing clean here. Down the straight, coming up to turn 3. Ben slots it in front of me again. Another good move. I go a little wider than I want to off the track there, gaining an off track of 1. Coming into the long sweeping right of 4-5 and then into 6. Ben goes to the inside, not sure why. I get a good exit out of here, which better exit than Ben actually, which puts me kind of right on his tail. I'm within 1/10 as we come into this final turn here. Again, I'm going to cut this corner, and this is where I make my first major mistake. He bumps off of that guy. I didn't see that coming, and then I T-bone Ben. This is completely my fault. There's nobody to blame but myself in that case, but I lose 2 positions as a result of that. And yeah, so first mistake made, and I'm feeling pretty rotten about what I did to Ben there. Fortunately, Ben is going to wind up in a better position than I am at the end of this race, but I do feel bad about hitting him. I actually sent him a message later on just apologizing for the T-bone there. Again, completely my fault. But trying to settle back into the race now. I mean, mistakes happen. There's clearly mistakes going on further behind me as people are complaining and talking about reporting people. That's fine. The strength of field here is around my strength. It's about 1,450. So a lot more drivers this morning on a Saturday morning. I do an okay job. I go a little too deep here, giving 15 a good run on me.
What the fuck are these dive bombs, dude?
Gonna mute that conversation. Okay. For some reason, I just cannot be consistent this race. I make mistake after mistake, and I'm just not hitting my braking points correctly. I'm not hitting my lines correctly, and I just don't understand why I'm having problems. But I've settled into lap 3 here. I feel like, okay, let's just get a move on. Maybe we can catch up to these folks in front of us. almost send the car over there as I take that a little too aggressively. I lose a bunch of time to breaker behind me. Again, missing my mark there, and I miss my mark here. I'm just all over the road. I'm taking this too wide, giving breaker behind me time to catch up. Just cannot seem to pull it together, and I don't know why. That's a pretty decent exit out of the first straight. Breaker slides off there, freeing me up from the pressure behind me, now able to focus on those in front of me. Roger's 1.5 seconds in front of me. And yeah, so here we go into lap 4 of the race, and really just trying to put together a decent lap here. Last lap was a 1:43.6, so certainly better than what I've been doing, but by no means what I'm capable of doing. And again, I'm going to make mistake after mistake after mistake here, as you're about to see. Don't brake well here, lose out some time to Roger in front of me. I could have made up. I need to rethink how I'm doing this turn a bit here, as what I'm doing is clearly not as fast as some other individuals. You can see that I'm trying to get on the throttle earlier. I'm still not doing it. Like, I'm not doing as well as I should there. I just can't get out of my head this track. I don't know what it is, but I am catching up to this pack, so I see that I'm making some decent headway. There's an accident in front of me. Okay, that's going to give me a couple positions back. No problem. Okay, so we're up into 10th place again, and I'm thinking, okay, if I can just hold this together, I can make some more places up here coming up. Another spot made up there, so that puts me into 9th position. Okay, so we're back in the race, and we're thinking, all right, what are we going to do here that can maybe even get us a couple more positions? Decent exit out of there. Decent run on Luis in front of me. I'm about 1.1 seconds behind him, with Roger 2.5 seconds behind me. You can see the spread there. Large grouping of people behind me. And here comes, I think this might be my next mistake, or it's the next lap. Nope, this is pretty decent here. I'm actually going to fast forward so we can focus on where I make my mistakes. Here I'm doing just fine. Trying to catch up to Roger. I'm getting up on him. I'm at half a second at that point, and then drop back to 0.8. Doing decent through this lap. Little wide there, little better there. Coming down this straight, I'm 0.7 behind Roger, and this is where I think I miss my braking point. Yep, I braked a little late there for what I want, but not bad, not too bad. We open it up. We've gained, we're at half a second behind Roger in front of us. So I'm thinking, like, at this point, I'm thinking I'm gaining on the competition in front of me. But here I swing a little wider than I want, but still gets me right up on Roger, who is way slower through that than I am. But I back off him just a little bit because I'm trying to get a good run out of this turn. Decent run out of this turn. Again, right on Roger. I'm trying to pressure him to make a mistake. I'm anticipating where his braking is. He does much better through Sector 3 than I do. Gets a much better run out of there. I got to rethink how I'm approaching Sector 3 as well, although I've only got one more day of racing after today. What I'm doing is clearly not working. But I'm also not hitting my consistent lines. That's my problem. I don't understand why I'm not. Trying to get a decent run out of here. Find myself 1 second behind Luis in front of me. I think I've been saying Roger. Roger's behind me. And Roger's actually gained on me a bit. You can see he's right behind me. And I think this is where I'm going to make my second error. If it isn't, I'm going to fast forward a bit so you can see where I do. I completely If that, I should have done that a little better. But I do open up a second to Roger behind me. I've closed into 8/10 to Luis in front of me. Just not handling this turn at all. I don't feel confident in it. I don't know what is going on. Interesting thing is, I'm hearing from my race engineer that rain may be coming as well. They said that at the beginning of the race. Everybody's on dries. Rain never materializes this race, though. All right, still feeling good here. Roger behind me is definitely a little bit quicker than I am, but I'm trying to catch up to Luis in front of me. I don't know if hitting that corner earlier where I threw the car onto two wheels is what's got me spooked or something, but something has me spooked and I'm just not pushing the car like I can. Don't feel confident here. Christopher is now in front of me, slots in behind. This is where I'm going to make my first major mistake after the straightaway here. So, yeah, so I get a good run here on both these guys. I am 4/10, 3/10 behind Christopher in front of me. I get a better run out of that turn than he does. I'm 2/10. I'm definitely catching up to him. So I'm deciding, okay, what do I want to do in terms of passing here? They're clearly going to the inside. I'm going to slip to the outside, but then double back to the inside here. And the problem is I'm focused on him, and I'm missing my braking line, and I'm not braking hard enough, and I collide. And this is completely my fault. So let me back this up just so you can see it from outside the vehicle. Let me, in fact, go to a chase camera just so you can see where I screw this up. Actually, I'm going to slow motion this. So as we come in here, I'm braking, but I'm not braking hard enough, and I overshoot the apex and collide with Luis there, allowing that driver through. That puts me in a position where it's very difficult for me to rejoin the track without causing an incident. So I am forced to let these drivers go through before I get back on. Again, completely my fault. Nobody else's fault but my own. I do get back in the race here. Now I'm in 15th place. So, okay, let's fast forward because that has been just a mess and a half. We're going to fast forward through these next few laps. Still in 15th place. Trying to catch up to the pack behind me, which is a bit slower. Driver off the road there. I don't know if you caught that. But a driver goes off the road right there, into the wall, goes to the pits. So I gain back another place. I'm in 14th position. Still not where I wanted to be. I wanted to be up in 7th, 8th position at this point. So trying to catch up to this group in front of me, but I am just, I don't know what's going on. I am completely shaken. I am not hitting my braking points where I need to be. I'm not putting the car into the rotation it needs to be in. Nathan behind me is pressuring me. I'm going to fast forward to my next mistake, which is coming up soon. You don't need to worry about that. We are on lap 10 as I'm showing this, and there's my next mistake. Over rotating the car, hitting the accelerator just a little too soon as we go into this turn, which is where I see everybody make mistakes. But the problem is I begin braking while I'm turning the wheel, and that slides the car. I also broke too late. So the car slides. Fortunately, it just slides sideways. I'm able to only lose one position there and get back on the road. But now I have breaker behind me again. All right. So race is pretty much shot. I'm in 15th place. There's 5 laps to go at this point. We're on lap 11. Things are not looking great. I'm trying just to bring the car home at this point, and another mistake right there. My tires are overheated a little bit, probably from the skid previously, and I just cannot hook it up. This is always a dangerous area to go off the road. I slide. Fortunately, I'm able to avoid getting the car into an accident. I get back on the road. I am now in 16th position. Absolutely not one of these is not my fault. And I feel like an amateur, a car goes off the road there, so I get 15th place back. We're on lap 12. Yeah, things just not going as planned. Um, Lap 13, I'm just going to skip forward to the next lap. And just every time I'm hitting, this is lap 14, and you're going to see, I want to point out another mistake I'm making. At this point, I just want the pain to be over with, but I got to bring the car home. This is where I'm having, just for some reason, a tremendous amount of problem. Brake hard here, turn, but I just keep sending the car too slow through that corner or too fast and going over that area. So anyway, next lap, lap 15. Yeah, my fastest lap this race has been a 1:43.094. But what's interesting is my final lap of the race, I'm going to actually set my fastest lap, which is indicative of I finally just started feeling like the car was coming to me at this point. Um, I didn't even feel like I was pushing terribly hard, and yet in my final lap, I think I set a 142.6. Like had I been doing that the entire time, I would have been in a much better position. So again, a complete disaster as far as a race goes. Let's see what those results do to me, which is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Started in 12th place, ended in 15th. I lose 0.25 safety rating for all the off tracks and the collisions I caused. I lose 27 I rating, dropping me down to 1435, going the complete wrong direction. We have to just chalk this up to a learning experience, figure out what we're doing wrong, and get out of our own head. I think it's one of those things where, like, the coaching I just did may have messed me up a little bit, at least in my head. So I need to get back in the zone and do better for next time. So we'll see how the next race goes. I'm probably only going to race one or two more of these races as things continue at Fuji, and then next up will be Imola, again one of my favorite tracks. So we'll see how that goes there. But yeah, couldn't be less thrilled with my performance here. And again, nobody to blame but myself. So let's fix this and get back in the fight. Thanks for watching.